Welcome to the tutorial for the computer-based Cambridge English Qualifications Preliminary and Preliminary for Schools test. This tutorial will show you how to complete the reading, writing and listening tests. The instructions for each part of the test are in the box at the top of the screen. In part 1 of the reading test, you need to choose an answer for each question. If you want to change your answer, click on your new answer. If you want to delete your answer, click on the answer again. To look at the next question, click on the question number in the bar at the bottom. You can also click on the arrow buttons to look at the next or previous question. When you have answered a question, a line will appear under that question in the bar. You can click on Review if you want to look at a question again later. This will be shown as a circle. Click on the yellow arrow if you want to make the navigation bar smaller. In part 2 of the reading test, click on the correct text on the right and move it into the gap. If you want to change your answer, simply move another text into the gap. If you want to leave the question unanswered, move the text back. For some questions, you may need to use the scroll bar to move through the longer texts and the options. In part 3 of the reading test, click on the question to see the options, or use the bar. You need to choose an answer for each question. If you want to change your answer, click on your new answer. If you want to delete your answer, click on the answer again. In part 4 of the reading test, click on the correct text on the right and move it into the gap. If you want to change your answer, simply move another text into the gap. If you want to leave the question unanswered, move the text back. In part 5 of the reading test, click on a gap to see a choice of words. Choose the answer you think is correct. Your chosen answer will then appear in the gap. If you want to change your answer, click on the gap again, and the options will appear again. Click on the answer you think is right. If you want to leave the question unanswered, click on the cross. In part 6 of the reading test, you need to write your answer in the gap in the text on the screen. Click on the question and write your answer. Write one word in each gap. If you want to change your answer, you can delete it and write your new answer. For the reading test, the clock turns red and flashes when you have 10 and 5 minutes left. The tests automatically stop when the time finishes. There are 2 parts to the writing test. There are 45 minutes for the writing test. There is an email task in part 1 and a choice of tasks in part 2. Each task has the same number of marks. Click on Start to begin the test. For part 1 of the writing test, write your answer in the space on the right of the screen. The word count at the bottom of the screen shows the number of words in your answer. Your answers are saved automatically. You do not need to press Enter on your keyboard. You can review and change your answer at any time before the end of the test. In part 2 of the writing test, there is a choice of questions. Answer either question 2 or 3. Click in the box next to the question to read it. When you have decided which question you want to answer, click the box next to Choose this question. Your answers are saved automatically. You do not need to press Enter on your keyboard. The word count at the bottom of the screen shows the number of words in your answer. You can review and change your answers at any time until the end of the test. But before the end of the test, make sure you have clicked on the box next to Choose this question. If you decide to answer question 3, click the box next to Choose this question. For the writing test, the clock will turn red and flash when you have 10 and 5 minutes left. The test will stop when the time finishes. For the listening test, you will hear each recording twice. You will have time before each part to look through the questions. Click on Start to begin the test. For the listening test, you can change the volume by using the bar in the top right at any time during the test. Listen carefully for the part number and question numbers to make sure you are looking at the right screen. In part 1 of the listening test, choose your answer by clicking on the picture. To change your answer, click on one of the other pictures, or click the same picture again if you don't want that answer. In part 2 of the listening test, you need to choose an answer for each question. If you want to change your answer, click on your new answer. If you don't want that answer, click on the answer again. In part 3 of the listening test, you need to write your answer in the gap in the text on the screen. Click on the question and write your answer. Write one word, or a number, or a date, or a time in each gap. If you want to change your answer, you can delete it and write your new answer. At the end of part 3, you have 2 minutes to check your answers. In part 4 of the listening test, you need to choose an answer. If you want to change your answer, click on your new answer. If you don't want that answer, click on the answer again. You have 2 minutes to check all your answers at the end of the listening test. There is a clock at the top of the screen which tells you how much time you have left. The test will stop when the time finishes. In each of the tests, you can change the settings of the text. To do this, click on the Settings tab at the top of the screen. You can change the size, colour, and screen resolution of the text. In each of the tests, there is a Help tab. If you click on the Help tab, it gives information about the test. Test Help gives information about how the test works. Task Help gives information on the task you are looking at. You can also choose to highlight pieces of text or questions. To do this, left-click and move your cursor over the piece of text or question you wish to highlight. Then right-click and select the Highlight option. To remove highlighting from the text or questions, right-click on the highlighted area and select Clear. You can also write notes on a piece of text or on a question. To do this, left-click and drag the cursor over the section of text or question you want to make notes about. Then right-click and select the Notes option. The piece of text you choose is highlighted, and there is a yellow notepad. You can write your notes on this. Click on the red cross in the notepad to hide your notes. To see your notes again, click on the highlighted section of text. To find highlighted pieces of text which have notes, move the cursor over each highlighted text. If a small orange box appears, it means that the highlighted text has notes. To delete notes from the text or questions, right-click on the highlighted area and select Clear. If you want to remove all highlighting from the screen, click on any highlighted area and select Clear All. If you need to leave the test room for a few minutes, you can hide your screen by clicking on the Hide tab. Click on the Resume Test button when you return to the test room. That is the end of the tutorial. Good luck with the test.